Is it really over for Justin Baldoni? Did you hear that? Should I start over? Is it really over for Justin Baldoni after all, after that legal ruling yesterday? Or will he have another chance to defend himself in a court? I think he probably will, actually. But I will say that ruling yesterday, after I went through it after the show was done yesterday, it's pretty harsh against Justin's case they attempted to bring against Blake Lively, the New York Times, and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I don't see that this is over yet. I don't see him, for lack of a better phrase, giving up.
Yeah, no, he certainly won't be able to bring those charges against her and prove them in a court of law. But it seems like, as far as I'm concerned, the jury is still out. I mean, pun intended, but also quite literally in her case against him.
Yeah.
I mean, she still has to prove her allegations against him at this point. And that seems like a very tall order. So for the people who are just saying it's over, I would be very careful.
Look more than the headline.
Yeah.
And that is what Baldoni's lawyer is saying, because we finally heard from Brian Friedman a bit, and he's talking about just kind of the logistics behind it and the fact that, as we discussed yesterday, they will have 2 weeks to kind of readjust what they were going with claims and presenting something else to see if that would be held up. Like in this case here, the judge has dismissed those claims, but apparently they can make changes to it, adjust it a little bit, and see if it would hold up.
And Stormer, producer Stormer said this previously on the radio, and I think it's a perfect way to say it. Like Justin or Blake may have won the battle, this latest battle, but she has yet to win the war, and that is still a very tall order. So this story, for those of you who have strong feelings one way or the other, I kind of feel like I know where most of you have feelings. It's not over.
The comment section here on our YouTube video, Blinded by the Atom on YouTube, click subscribe, was very much in a strong camp. So if you're wondering how people think, you can see that in the comments.
Yeah, and leave us your comments. Like, where are you guys at?
Yeah.
And how you feel about yesterday's ruling. Because I will say I listened to one lawyer sort of break it down, and I was like, this is a lot. This is...
Wow.
But it kind of makes sense, like in the sense that Blake won this round because essentially she had that complaint filed in California. But for that complaint, Justin's claims might have been more successful. However, she still has to prove the things she's alleging in that complaint, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you get that feeling,
sure.
Mike?
Yeah, no doubt. That's exactly what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So
still long road.
Over.
And by the way, the court date is still in March of next year.
Oh,
so
my
buckle
God.
in.
I know we're going to be talking about this for a while, Paul. Also, by the way, if you don't recognize the guy to my left or right, wherever he shows up on the actual screen, Paul McGuire Grimes from Paul's Trip to the Movies is joining us because Dawn is still out on vacation. She will be back in a couple days. Tomorrow is our last day without Dawn. So we'll be seeing her sooner rather than later. We're very, very grateful, though, that Paul is in today. So Thank you, Paul, for joining us again.
Also find my YouTube channel, Paul's Trip to the Movies on YouTube. Click subscribe. Thank you.
Please do. You can watch a lot of the very celebrities we're talking about. He interviews them when they're in the film, when they're in the movies. You never did Blake Lively though, right?
No, I did not get It Ends With Us. And I'm kind of glad I didn't get that.
Why?
Because I don't want to be caught up in that mess.
I do.
I know.
I want you to be caught up.
Yeah. I'm mess free.
Well, okay. In this one regard.
Well, if you enjoyed yesterday's show, you know how good Paul is at this game. So let's get it started and see how it goes today. Are the two of you ready?
Yeah,
ready.
This A-list comedian and actor must have pulled some strings to lead to all the misleading headlines. What he said was PG compared to what he could have said, but he refuses to acknowledge or discuss the disgraced producer, as he knows his hands are far from clean. Let me read it again here. This A-list comedian / actor must have pulled some strings to lead to all the misleading headlines. What he said was PG compared to what he could have said, but he refuses to acknowledge or discuss the disgraced producer. He knows his hands are far from clean.
Ooh.
Well, the disgraced producer, we're going back to Harvey Weinstein.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
In this context, it makes me think of like Diddy.
Oh, so would it be a Kevin Hart?
Look at you just getting it done, Paul.
He hosted the BET Awards last night.
Yep.
And, said some things.
But let's read the blind item here. Kevin Hart must have pulled some strings to get all the misleading headlines. What he said about Diddy was PG compared to what he could have, but he refuses to acknowledge or discuss Diddy as he knows his hands are far from clean. Let's dive into this. The headlines, if you just go to anywhere, is saying he just went after Diddy. Basically, he had a line where he said, and I'm glad this is on a Monday because afterwards, it's a school night, it's a work night. Everyone's just going to go home. Sometimes when you get those after parties, that's when things get crazy. We're sure learning about some stuff about people, aren't we?
That's all he said.
That's all he said.
That's
So
like nothing.
I
That's
love
absolutely
this.
nothing. But yet all the headlines are making us believe, he just attacked Diddy.
God, this is people stretching for a clickbait.
Yes.
Well, yes, and it's self-serving if you believe the blind then, because
There you go.
it's a way for him to create cover
Yeah.
for,
What
as
he
the
knows.
blinds indicate, things he may actually know that are far darker.
Yeah.
Like things that we've seen video of, like him literally hosting freak-offs.
Ugh.
And
I
when he
never
was
liked
asked
Kevin
about
Hart.
that recently by the paparazzi, he said, I don't know, you're talking to the wrong guy. To which point they said, there's video of it. And he said, I don't know, wrong guy.
Yeah, he would be a great politician.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the clips, there's literally Kevin Hart in front of a bathtub
Well-
with lots of baby oil in it. And
Is
a
there
freak-off
really? I
situation.
haven't seen that.
Yes. He hosted a freak off.
I don't want to see that.
I don't think
I don't
you
want to
want
see that. Do you get that? Valerie Cherish, Lisa Kudrow, the comeback?
No. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Did I
we don't
miss
have
that?
time. We don't have
Okay.
time.
Wow.
So I don't know. It's it's
It's a
interesting.
plausible way for him to throw the scent off of that
Yes.
particular story.
Yep.
Because he
Seems
did
like-
then go after Kanye West and actually go after Kanye West and had some
I
fun
heard
with
about that.
Yep.
I heard about that.
But I don't know. It's interesting.
And it's not Kanye anymore. Allegedly, supposedly, it's Ye Ye.
Yay, yay.
Yeah,
Ye Ye.
I missed that update.
I did too until this morning when apparently on some legal documentation, eagle-eyed viewers noticed that the name listed was not Kanye, it was Ye Ye.
Wow.
So,
Went from Kanye to yay, and now yay, yay.
Ye Ye.
I mean, also like Diddy, how many names does he
That's
have?
true.
Yeah.
Well, let's not get too far away from here, unfortunately. Let's roll on with another blind item. This B-list rapper knows her best bet is to hope the disgraced producer, once again, gets to walk, which is why she isn't helping the feds and publicly is bashing those who are taking the stand.
Oh, God.
This B-list rapper knows her best bet is that the disgraced producer gets to walk, which is why she isn't helping the feds and publicly is bashing those who are taking the stand.
Okay, so B-list rapper, and obviously we're in Diddy conversation again.
Yeah.
So it's a B-list female rapper.
Correct.
So I'm thinking of people like Azalea Banks or Nicki Minaj.
And give us the context again.
She is apparently not working with the feds and publicly bashing those who are taking the stand because she knows her best bet is that Diddy gets to walk.
Oh, okay.
Think of maybe who would have been in the B-list rapper category tied to Diddy before all the bleep hit the fan. Do you remember?
Well, I'm trying to
She's
remember.
definitely
now.
B-list for a reason. We don't hear this name often. She's,
So she performed with him.
well, more than that.
Oh.
Rapper.
Oh my God! I was going to say
Maybe not
Jennifer Lopez, but it's not because she's not a B-list
She's from
rapper.
the southeast part of our great nation, a
Like
city.
Atlanta?
Southeast.
Miami?
Oh,
Do you remember her name?
No.
Diddy's longtime girlfriend when he got arrested is Young Miami.
Oh, I would not have
I didn't
gotten
think you
there.
would. That's why I brought us to it pretty quickly. But Young Miami is apparently knows that her best bet is that Diddy gets to walk, which is why she didn't help the feds and why publicly she is bashing those who take the stand.
yeah. I feel like you really have to make this choice if you are someone who was connected to or in and around Diddy, like you have to make the calculation if you're, I don't know, if you know stuff and if you're, whether or not to support or, be honest about what you actually know. I bet she's not the only person who's making that calculation, I'm assuming.
I bet there's a lot of behind the scenes legal consultations right now.
We had the exact same conversation last week about Ray J. And Ray J's involvement with Diddy, both legally.
Yeah, that's right. Well, isn't there a blind about him?
Well, yeah, because he was in a relationship with Whitney Houston at the end. He was in a relationship with Wendy Williams when all of the stuff went down with her that had Diddy tied to it.
Randy's brother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he is. So there you go. Let's leave all the gross stuff behind.
Okay, really quickly before we do that, I was still confused about, this witness too who's been testifying, Jane, in the Diddy trial. It sounded like up until right before he was arrested, like their relationship was recent.
Okay.
And apparently he has still been paying her rent, which I just found fascinating. Like, that she was willing to like come forward despite the fact that, she had still been connected to him, that closely.
Yeah, and then Young Miami, just for some context, she was in a relationship with Diddy from 2021 to 2024. And there was a comment on social media. She was posted a picture of her working out or something. And then somebody said, better to be working on yourself than going on the stand and complaining or playing the victim or something. And she liked that comment.
Ooh.
So there you go.
Okay.
That's what that's probably referring to. Let's move away from the disgusting world of Diddy. And let's move on to this one. This network reality star was so obnoxious after the after parties. How obnoxious was she?
How obnoxious was she?
She was so obnoxious after the recent award show. She was making sure everyone had their eyes on her, and she made it clear to the producers that she would do whatever it takes to get cast in something.
Oh, God.
This network reality star was so obnoxious after the after parties of the recent award show. She was making sure everyone had their eyes on her and made it very clear to producers that she would do whatever it takes to get cast in something.
Network reality star.
Well, this is making me think of things like Bachelor Nation, Dancing with the Semi-Stars. Okay.
Oh, okay. So Dancing with the Stars.
Cheryl Burke.
Disgraced. Did you say Disgraced?
No,
not
that.
Disgraced.
This network reality star was so obnoxious after the after parties of a recent award show. She was making sure everyone had their eyes on her and made it clear to producers that she would do whatever it takes to get cast in something.
Oh, are we talking about the Tonys?
That's the award show, yes.
Julianne Hough.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was going to say somebody who dances and frequently needs attention as a network reality star. So that actually doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me at all either, but I'm just disappointed.
Why?
Because let's not be trash at award shows in a desperate attempt to be existent. I don't know. Rely on your talent. She can dance.
Yeah. But she's a hustler too.
Oh, I know, but being drunk and wasted is not hustling.
That's true.
Julianne Hough.
Unless you're doing the hustle drunk.
Julianne Hough was the one who was apparently so obnoxious at the after parties of the Tonys. She was making sure everyone had their eyes on her and also made it clear to producers she would do whatever it takes to get cast in something. So
I bet she wants like a contract in Chicago or
I could see
Juliet.
I could see her. I could see Derek. I could see, both of them doing something on Broadway.
I think Derek's done Chicago.
Has he?
I could be wrong about that, but I think he has.
You two are absolutely crushing it today, as always. Well done. Be sure, if you're enjoying this today, to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And if you're just listening, you can watch us later over on our YouTube channel. Again, Blinded by the Item. Like and subscribe. Let's keep rolling on with another one here. We've told you repeatedly that the A-list actor has not been faithful to this A-list reality star, but that was anticipated because that was never a part of the agreement. What was not anticipated is that he would be getting so chummy with the same B-list model / socialite bestie who caused family drama before. We've told you repeatedly that the A-list actor has not been faithful to an A-list reality star, but that was anticipated because that was never a part of the agreement. What was not anticipated is that he would be getting so chummy with this same B-list model / socialite bestie who has caused family drama before.
I have ideas.
Mhm.
I have ideas too. Let's slow walk this one.
Okay.
Yep.
Just in case.
Now, does the male person of this?
Yeah.
Do they typically describe him differently in the blinds?
I don't think
Is he the meme actor?
Oh, yes, that is. Oh, good call. You really know your crazy days and nights. Nicely done.
So do you know what this is?
Yeah, well, I'm assuming he's also going to be in a film that is much anticipated later this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he also requires a special character when writing his first name.
Yes. An accent.
An accent.
What I don't know is the third piece of this.
Yes, exactly. The first
So
piece is
let's-
pretty easy. Go ahead and get that part.
My Timmy Chalamet.
Timmy.
Timmy Chalamet, and of course,
Kylie Jenner.
Kylie Jenner.
So let me fill in the blind here. So far, we know, and we've told you repeatedly, that Timothee Chalamet has not been faithful to Kylie Jenner, but that was anticipated because it was never a part of the agreement. What was not anticipated, though, is that Timmy would be getting so chummy with the same B-list model / socialite bestie who caused family drama before.
I have never liked this publicationship between the two of them. It has never made sense to me
Ooh, why hasn't it made sense?
because Timmy doesn't need it. He is consistently working. He is consistently being at every award show. Like his talent actually speaks for itself. He doesn't need to involve himself with the Jenner
Oh my
Kardashian.
God, she's getting emotional.
God.
Deep breaths,
He
honey.
doesn't need it. Usually you do publicationships in order to advance your career.
Yeah.
He already has a career. And rightfully, like she does too. She's got all of her makeup and she's got her family. She doesn't need to be with him unless she's maybe trying to act, but that doesn't seem to be part of the equation. So what is her end game here? Like this is phony baloney 101. So then what is the third piece of this?
Let me
Okay.
throw in a wrench then.
Yep.
Is it true love?
No.
Because if they don't need each other, but they
This is what
are
doesn't
still
make
with
sense
each
of
other.
this.
I think
Because-
don't underestimate the power of Kris Jenner.
Yes, I get
and
that.
his career when they started their dalliance was certainly you recognized his talent because you're coming at this from sort of like within that world.
Mhm.
But will that translate to the wider world? And I think his talent has nothing but increased since they've been
Yeah,
together.
but
I'm
I
not saying
feel like-
because of.
No, I know, but I feel like he was already Oscar nominated. He already had like Dune had already come out. I think Wonka had already come out.
But-
they've been dating for over 2 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from a publicationship standpoint, to Bradley's point, this was early on in his career.
Ugh.
He's really skyrocketed.
But I
since.
also think there's some personal animus that you carry towards Kylie Jenner
Well,
because you too would like to be in the arms of
Mr. Timmy
Timmy.
Chalamet.
Yeah.
I also just don't like that family at all.
Let's do
Well,
the
you
B
share
list.
something
Yes.
in common with the third person, this
Oh,
blind item,
really?
because the family doesn't like this person very much either. Again, we've got so far Timothee Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. We knew they weren't going to be necessarily, or Timmy wouldn't be faithful with her because that was never a part of the agreement. But was not anticipated, though, is that Timothy would be getting so chummy with the same B-list model / socialite bestie who caused family drama in the past.
We're not talking about Jordan Woods.
Yeah, we are.
Ah,
According to the blind
What?
items,
Jordan!
she
comes
Yeah.
in for the
I was
evil
like,
steal.
this is like season 1 public. Like this is Kardashian season 1, and she's back for a reboot. Like
This
what is
kind of
happening?
genius.
It's almost like they've been spending a lot of time together. Oh, wait, why would they be doing that? Because Jordan Woods is currently dating the star of the Knicks, Karl Anthony Towns. So the two of them have been hitting after parties after games, been hitting some Knicks parties prior to their elimination, of course. But according to the blind item, we told you it was never expected that Timothee Chalamet would be faithful with Kylie Jenner, but was not anticipated is that he'd be getting so close with Jordan Woods.
See, you need to write sex into these publicationships and what that is.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to ask a dumb question.
There
Can
are
I
no
ask a
dumb
dumb
questions. There
question?
are better than anyone I know,
Yes,
honey.
you took the bait. You fell for it. I love it. Thank you. That's a
Hashtag
Golden Girls
Golden
reference.
Girls.
Yes. Okay. What role did Jordan Woods play into this family like 15 years ago?
So Jordan Woods was the fling of one Tristan Thompson, who, of course, was with Chloe at the time.
This is so
So-
long ago.
Well, Kylie and her were friends though at the time, so their friendship is what started
yeah.
her involvement, right?
Kylie and Jordan were besties.
Yeah.
and
and
that's
then-
when Jordan decided to get on board Chloe's man.
with Tristan Thompson.
But
Yes.
didn't everyone get on Tristan Thompson?
Fair. That's true. But I will say these rumors started, and not so, I don't know, randomly. Courtney's Instagram carousel recently, she decided to share a throwback from 6 years ago to her reacting to the phone call when the three of them, it was Kylie, Courtney, and Kim, all on the phone at the same time, having the reaction to finding out that Tristan Thompson got with Jordan Woods.
Ooh.
And she decided to randomly share that just 2 days ago.
Okay.
That's not random.
That's a little obvious.
Okay, I'm going to ask another question.
Yeah.
Please.
I want to know who runs all of their socials to map all this out, because I don't for one hot second believe that any of them run their own socials.
No, of course. I think
So,
Kris
like-
Jenner's on. I don't think Kris Jenner does it.
No, but she's
she's
on
got
the payroll
a
of all
company who
this.
does.
Yes,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
But like, God, that takes mapping out.
And you got to remember, this is what they have perfected the art of. Like, literally, if time travel is ever possible, it will be credited in some way to Kris Jenner.
For sure.
Because she has the ability to make things happen such that, like, we don't find out about them until they air in an episode, or
Yeah,
like you'll
this
see
will
little
be
hints.
next season.
You
for
will
sure.
see little things pop up, and you're like, "What is that about?"
Yeah.
Well, sure enough, you come to find out 6 to 9 months later, it's because she had hatched this plan so that they could
This is why
unfurl it during a season of
I
the
hate
show.
all of them.
And
If anyone out there believes the Kardashian Jenner family is real, or what their show is real, get a clue.
And the last time, of course, we heard about Jordan Woods, this was the last round of the playoffs because her and Kylie met at the courtside, gave each other a big hug.
Mm.
And when they did that, Kendall was literally in the back just sipping her drink, acting like she did not even see Jordan Woods there, which was just perfection. So again,
I love
these
it.
are all storyline. This is all storyline. It's beautiful.
They know how. I mean,
I'm sure.
my whole thing until I saw Jordan Woods on Red Table Talk with Jada, I was like, she's in on this.
Of
Like
course
this
she is.
whole thing. But when I watched that interview, it's clear that they did her dirty. So I don't know. I feel like she ended up getting used, but clearly was fine because now
She's back in.
I don't know.
She's making a.
This is why, remember I've said this before on the show, like I can't wait till I die.
Dark.
Because then I'm going to know all these secrets. It's the only way I'm going to find out what was actually, what did Kris Jenner actually do behind the scenes? That's the only way you're going to get the secrets.
I don't know how much time we have, but this makes me think of Grey's Anatomy because that show's been on for like 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when they randomly call back to an episode from like 6 seasons prior, or like you have to keep all those relationships straight. Like Ryan and I were watching the most recent season because we're all caught up. And I was like, didn't the two of them already get married? And I was like, wait a minute, that was someone else's marriage. Like they have to have like a script supervisor take so much due diligent notes over 21 years as a reference or callback or remember, wait, who hooked up when and where and how and what, med room? Too much.
It's a lot of work, but that's why they're what now? 2 or 3 of them are billionaires?
Yeah.
Is Chloe a billionaire?
Chloe, I'm
on
not sure.
paper.
I mean, yeah, they're all paper billionaires, but they're close to it.
But yeah.
But is it worth it? I don't think so.
I mean,
I don't think so.
you want to be a billionaire?
Yes, but
Come
like,
on.
if I'm involved in this much mess, like, where's the personal integrity? Sorry.
I don't know. Hi, Chris. No, please don't.
I know.
Please don't
I'm
call
going to
me.
get so many emails. I'm going to get fired by
No,
Universal. I'm
my
not even
God,
on the
no,
payroll.
please. People love it. I guarantee there are people screaming in the comments agreeing with you.
I just love the idea that, and this as a longtime Timberwolves fan, you guys might not get this joke, but most people will, that if Karl Anthony Towns has his girlfriend stolen by Timothee Chalamet, that would just make me so happy.
Okay, great.
Why?
That meant nothing to me, but
He's
okay,
like
great.
the most.
I know. Please explain to the gays. 'cause
If you do, they did this actually before the playoff game. They asked like random New Yorkers, do your best Karl Anthony Towns impression. And he's like, come on, that can't be. He's such a complainer on the court and acts like just everyone is out to get him. So the idea that Timothee Chalamet would come in and
be
just
like, come on.
sweep his girlfriend away would be just
Timmy's got
great.
riz. What can I say?
He's got some.
Yeah.
There you go. We don't have time for another one, so let me just remind everybody to like and subscribe, of course, and hit the notification bell. Paul, you crushed it once again.
You did a great job. I mean, Paul truly for the win yet again. And by the way, you've heard him talk about his YouTube channel, but again, what is it, Paul?
Paul's Trip to the Movies.
So you can catch all his movie reviews and
celebrity interviews and
creepy VHS tape intros, which I'm loving. Like the shorts.
I got to start those up again. They went on a brief hiatus.
You totally should. Again. As should listeners listen to us on the radio on myTalk Monday through Friday, or download us as a podcast wherever you get those. And of course, just like Paul's YouTube channel, we've got one. It's called
Blinded by the Item.
We're so close to 5,000. Come on now.
Blinded by the Item.